The Science and Practice of Presence. Introduction. Culture Eats Strategy for Breakfast. Peter Drucker. This famous quote by Peter Drucker, a world-leading business management writer, teacher, and consultant, may be one of the best-known and least disputed aphorisms of business. It captures the truth that company culture is ultimately more important than business strategy for achieving success, and the wisdom of this statement has only become more relevant in today's tumultuous business environment. What makes up company culture? People. Human beings working together to solve problems. I sometimes call this the dirty little secret of the business world, one that's easy to lose sight of in the midst of the daily pressures, anxieties, and busyness that frequently overwhelm us. Business is people working together, and business success depends on how well we interact, collaborate, communicate, and care for one another. That's the essence of what Drucker means. I think we recognize this, and further, I think that this is what we search for, both in the workplace and in general in our lives. We want to create and be part of a supportive, positive culture, a culture of real trust and care, of transparency and integrity, of accountability and achieving results. This type of culture helps us as individuals and collectively to act with clarity, to not hold back, to show up as fully and completely as possible in all our relationships, to flourish and grow, to better serve others, and to reach our goals. Achieving this isn't easy. Being human isn't easy. Working with others can be immensely challenging. Some difficulty always arises, whether that's painful emotions, stress and uncertainty, budgets and deadlines, interpersonal conflicts, political and marketplace strife, or the unexpected obstacles that appear whenever we pursue meaningful work. So what do we do? How do we create and sustain what everyone says we need? In this book, I explore these questions, and I hope to guide and inspire you using the 7 practices of mindful leadership that I teach to executives, entrepreneurs, engineers, doctors, teachers, and everyday people around the world. In recent years, mindfulness and mindful leadership have exploded in popularity, but interest in mindfulness does not necessarily translate into becoming a mindful leader. Understanding mindfulness can be challenging. Even more difficult is embodying and regularly practicing it in everyday life. In addition, what mindfulness means and how it's practiced can sometimes get watered down in the context of work, when it isn't dismissed altogether. Of course, ancient contemplative practices weren't developed in order to improve business. They are meant to shift our consciousness and way of being in the world. Yet these practices are essential to mindful leadership and to creating the type of supportive organizational culture that allows businesses and people to thrive. My experience is somewhat unconventional. For most of my adult life, I've had one foot in the contemplative world and one foot in the business world, and my approach to mindful leadership has been shaped by both, from my experience as a long-time Zen practitioner and meditation teacher, and as a leader, trainer, and consultant helping businesses cultivate mindful leadership and workplace well-being. Most recently, I helped create the Search Inside Yourself mindfulness-based emotional intelligence program inside of Google, and I co-founded and led the Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute, which has become one of the world's most prominent leadership training companies. This book's 7 practices were developed within the Search Inside Yourself program. One thing this experience has taught me is that people are drawn to mindfulness practice in the business world for the same reasons people practice mindfulness and meditation within any contemplative tradition: to transform their lives, to become more aware, focused, and flexible, to shift from a narrow, egocentric, fear-based way of being to becoming more open, curious, connected, and able to help others. People seek these capacities to help them in every context and relationship, at work and outside of work.